Hello, car lovers. Today, a little bit of a special day. It's nice to see behind the scenes. So this is the Ross Monster. He's the one who brings me cars every week. He doesn't do the reviews in English. He only does them in French because French is his first language, and that's okay. Though he does speak English, he did live in West Canada for a little while, and he speaks English quite well, actually. It's just sometimes it's not fluid, and that creates inevitably a little bit of camera shyness. So I'm going to go on and blab about what he told me on the French video about his vehicle. First of all, I wanted to make this video not just to know what Ross is driving, but it's interesting to have the perspective of somebody who's a car reviewer. I am a car nut. I've always had car payments. I've bought cars sometimes every 2 years, going to the dealer with $5,000 for the balloon and paying off the car and then buying another one, because that's just the way I am. I have that kind of buying ethic. Only for cars though. I'm still financially responsible, but for cars I go all in. Ross is somebody who's not like that. He's a much more careful buyer than me, than in fact everyone I've ever met ever. So and that applies for cars. So I think it was interesting to get his perspective. So his first car, believe it or not, was a 1989 Honda Prelude that he paid cash, which is redonkulous. And then his next car that he bought was a 1991, because of family circumstance too, a 1991 Honda Accord, brand new, cash. So he had that car for 25 years, all right? 25 years. How many kilometers did it have when you got rid of it?
311,000.
311,000 kilometers.
Yep.
That is redonkulous.
Yep.
He had an excellent ownership experience with those two cars. He bought a second-hand car, something he's never done, and he was shopping between the RAV4 and the Honda CRV. He was looking for something, I think it was more 2010, 2012, something at $10,000, $15,000.
Exactly.
And he fell on this deal. He got it for $6,000 tax in, a 2004. It had 100,000 kilometers. Now it has 139,000 kilometers. What have you done as work on this vehicle?
Mostly oil change.
Yes.
Put a new battery.
Yep.
New muffler.
Yep.
That's about it. That's about it. It's of course, maintenance on the brakes, but regular maintenance, nothing fancy. What you expect from a Honda, reliable, cheap for maintenance, and to be honest with you, I got it since 2016. Really, really good vehicle. Even when it's minus 30, it starts easily. Really good.
That's a good story. Never stuck on the side of the road?
Never stuck. Yeah, with the original starter, 1991, built in November 1990. I sold it in October 2016.
You sold it?
Yeah, I sold it for $1,000 for a friend of mine for his son. So this is what I like about a car: reliability. It makes sense because I change cars every week, doing car reviews that we do with Chris. So having a brand new top of the line car
didn't make sense,
and not using it didn't make sense for me.
Yeah.
So that's why when I saw that bargain, $6,000, 100,000 kilometers, 101 to be exact, I said, why not?
Well, another thing that I wanted to highlight about this vehicle is that it's also interesting. Like we talk about car reviewers talk about the quality of the cars, but also I think in terms of like personal finance, I think you're a good example to show, maybe an extreme example, but a good example nonetheless, to show that you can buy a car and not have payments and have a good life and still travel, still buy real estate, and and still make it on a reasonable salary. So I thought it was a good idea to highlight that for the viewers. And it's always nice to not have a payment. You always feel a little bit better, less constricted in terms of like how your income flows out.
Exactly.
And so and also you pay less. You pay obviously less interest. So that's pretty interesting stuff. Okay, so but the review of this vehicle. So how has it held up through time? Well, I've noticed outside the paint, first of all, buying a used car, it's awesome because it comes dinged, scratched, pre-bumped, so you don't have to stress about that anymore.
It comes with the packet.
Another thing that I noticed, the air conditioning is blowing nice and cold here.
Yeah.
It's very sunny out. There's a tremendous greenhouse here, and the AC is working fine. Original AC, that's pretty awesome. I was walking around the car, Ross. The paint seems in pretty good condition, despite the flaky clears I've seen on Honda Civics between 2006 and 2012.
Yeah.
The clears are coming off by themselves.
Exactly.
This is a black vehicle. The paint is still very nice, and it wasn't detailed, as I did not mention, but the previous owner did not really detail the vehicle.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. The ride quality now. Well, the ride quality, although the shock absorber system is making a tremendous amount of noise, I have to say that the shock absorber system still works very well. I took it on the highway. It was very planted. It wasn't wobbly. So that's pretty good. Yeah.
The insulation of the vehicle as
Yeah,
well.
it's not well insulated.
So
that was a problem with Hondas at the time.
Exactly.
And when we went on the highway, I could hear it. It's really, like, compared to modern vehicles, it's incredible how loud it is on the way. What else about this vehicle? Well, you have the smooth Honda take-up on the accelerator. The brakes are work very well. There's no dead pedal here, which is awkward. This layout here is very simple, very roomy. It's incredible how roomy it is. In fact, I find it's very comparable to the HRV. Which is kind of interesting, that a vehicle which all equipped goes for like $35,000. Easy, you know what I mean? Yeah. 35, 36, 37 with taxes, actually, that you got a vehicle like this for only $6,000 tax in, which represents an effective 1/6 cost, right? Which is kind of amazing. You've had the car for 4 years. Imagine most people keep their car 4 years and then it's over, right? Think about how much they paid. Other things about this vehicle that I like, well, the ergonomics is still Honda familiar, I would say. Very easy to use. You made the remark that everything works. The CD player works, the cassette works, all the electronics work. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome, I have to say.
Heated seats as well.
But the heated seats work.
So, no, like I said, it's been really reliable for me. And it's been so good that the next one will be a RAV4 or a CRV.
Yeah, exactly. So, Ross, if I had to ask you today, you don't have to give a long answer there, but just briefly, if you were to buy a car today, let's say this car were to get into an accident, and with your current lifestyle, how much would you put on a car, and what would you buy?
New one, I wouldn't go higher than 40,000.
Okay, tax in.
I don't mind, like, the RAV4, the hybrid RAV4 would be a really good choice. CRVs are really good as well. So that would be my two choices. Like, four-door sedan, for me, it's out of the equation.
Yeah, you like the crossover experience.
Exactly.
Four-wheel drive, lots of space, high seating position, good visibility. The visibility is incredible.
Yeah.
I just want to, as a thought experiment, Russ, I just thought I'd pull out the fuel economy stats of this car over the years, and it's interesting to see how fuel economy evolves. So this vehicle was rated at 12.39.7. All right. The 2013 is rated at 10.37.6, and the 2020 is 8.3 and 7.
That's pretty good.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Because 1 liter per 100 kilometer, there's a lot of technology, lots of R&D.
Oh my God.
To reduce by 1 liter.
Yes, it's not always the engine. It is about making the underbody flatter and more aerodynamic. It is about lubrication, because there is this continuous drag from the moving parts. So a lot of technology put into cars, because the new CRV is much bigger than this one.
Bigger, heavier.
Yeah.
So
bigger, heavier, everything, and it's getting an incredible more mileage. So despite what we think, the gas technology is evolving with time, and they're making the cars more and more efficient.
CVT transmission, and the new one.
The transmission, exactly. Yes.
This one is a 4-speed automatic.
Yeah.
A 4-speed. It's tough to imagine in 2020.
Yeah.
Now
they don't sell them anymore.
Exactly.
And they haven't sold any for years.
Nope.
So that's about those are my thoughts on the Honda CRV 2004. And at the same time, you get to know Ross a little bit. I thought it was interesting. So if you guys get to meet him in his car, he also helps me when I'm doing my reviews, because he has the cars for the week. Normally, I very rarely have cars for a week. He's more into that. And sometimes when I'm doing my reviews, I kind of use him as a cheat sheet in order to give a more thoughtful review. So I thought it would be interesting you see who that comes from. And that is the review. By the way, if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. And if you really like it, well, then of course you should subscribe. And that is it.